Sports Show. Dudes who bet sports where degenerates go. Dudes who bet sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. The Dudes Who Bet Sports Show is live. We're back for another Thursday. God, we have a ton to do on this show. There is a ton happening this weekend, especially on Saturday. What's up, Papa Dude?
I think you feel like it's a ton because you got so much on your plate with racing this week. You probably haven't had time to even go outside, I imagine.
Yeah, I haven't. You said, oh, it's such a nice day today. Today, I have not been outside.
It's gorgeous.
I did go outside the last couple of days for a few minutes at least.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, when you have a week like this, you feel like you're just snowed under.
Yes, I know.
Like that. And you know, I'm pretty busy too with all the basketball tournaments and stuff and all of the predictions and all of that. I feel that way sometimes too. Because I kind of feel like I need to get that out pretty early in the mornings, which, you know, I try to get it out by at least 10. And then I like to go get a walk in before all that too. So I'm the same way. I know exactly, only you're doing it all day long. So I can just imagine what you guys are doing in a week like this.
Yeah, Derby preps and Derby season, obviously, and then it transitioned to Triple Crown season. Definitely gets you snowed under, and it also gives us a lot of content, a lot to talk about.
Sure.
And we have a hell of a time. Saturday's going to be insane.
You got so many other stakes races too. It's not just the Derby preps. There's tons of. I was glancing through it there a while ago. It's crazy this week. It really is.
It's crazy. 9. Yes, that's right. 9 stakes at Gulfstream Park Saturday. And then I think overall Magic said there's 15 or 20 through all the tracks. We're also, we'll be live for all the 3 Derby preps. Plus Oaklawn, got great racing. Garhole going to run at Oaklawn.
I love that.
About that. Yeah. So, he'll look to make it 4 in a row. Like Russ says, best weather week in months. Yeah, I wish we were getting before we went on air. We said, boy, I wish the Rebel was this week, Russ. Nice.
I don't think we could have passed it up if the weather was like this.
Yes, yeah. Week like what happened? A lot, Dennis. You know better. Coach is here. Afternoon to you, and Isaac is here. And Isaac, we're going to talk about basketball, NBA basketball, for you a little bit today. So you can be happy about that. All right. We might as well get into it. We got a lot going on. What would you want? What do you want to start with? I'm gonna let you choose. We can start with the racing. We could start with future wagers, or we could do college basketball top 25.
Let's save the future wagering.
Okay.
Kind of maybe for the end. You think?
Yep, that's fine.
You want to get the horse racing going here, or are you tired of talking about that? I know you just got off the air.
That's right.
Talking about it, so maybe you're a little weary.
I never get tired of talking about horse racing. So
all right.
I just threw it up.
What do you think?
Let's do it. Yeah, and Russ, you're right. He says, speaking of horse racing, talk about Oaklawn Park. Safe to say the infield will be open this weekend. Yeah, I know. It's always the best when the infield's open. Not that I go out there very often. It's just kind of cool that they open that thing up.
Yeah, it looks neat. You can't see the race from out there, though.
No.
Really. It's just a place to drink.
Yeah, sometimes I'll go out there when I'm with Kelby, and it's just we drink enough at this spot. Let's try this spot out.
Yeah, that's what it was for.
We always go out there on days where it's not or races, I should say, where it's not the biggest race of the day.
Right.
Right. So, all right, though, let's get into. We're not talking about Oaklawn, unfortunately, but Saturday Garhole does run at Oaklawn. That's a single, but anyway. We'll go here to the Fountain of Youth at Gulfstream Park. That's where we'll start. Grade 2 race here, going a mile on the 16th. 50 Derby points to the winner. We saw some upsets in the Rebel last weekend, and we saw, some crazy things happen in really a lot of the big races last weekend. What about this weekend? Papa Dude, Fountain of Youth, Gulfstream Park. Who do you like here?
Okay, now before I start this, I want everybody to know I have not listened to the Racing Dudes prognostications.
Okay, well, you should have some big time takes then.
That's why this may sound very stupid because I haven't gotten any advice like I usually do. I usually pick all this and then I listen to what you guys say, and I was going to do it, but I was listening to something else and I didn't have time. We'll get into that later. So now once I get going here, if I'm way off, please stop me.
I
So,
will.
I think this is wide open. What
Okay.
do you? Do you think there's 2 or 3 that can win this?
Yes, I do. I like one of the horses out of the, I would say 3 or 4 that can win a little more than maybe you might. But yes, I do think it's a fairly wide open race. I do think there are several that can win in this spot.
Okay. I like, and I don't see it, I think it's the 12.
Well, the 12 is scratched.
So that's Mo Donegal?
Yeah, the 12 scratched.
Oh, crap. That was my horse. Really? When did this happen? Has this happened like 3 days ago and I didn't know it?
Oh, late last night or late yesterday afternoon.
I don't
it all blends together. Mo Donegal says to have a low grade fever, which is translation. We did not like the 12 post.
Aha. Okay. Oh, crap. Okay. Well, I like the 2. Do you?
Okay. Simplification, yes, who is now the favorite in this race.
Okay.
Broke last time out in the Holy Bull. This is the horse likes to be on the lead. Broke last. A lot of people thought, well, won't run a step and just draw a line through it. Still ran, got second, and tried. So simplification, the 2.
Okay, and it's won a 150K stakes.
Mhm.
So this horse is decent, has some back class. So I like it. I like the 8. This is one that has not been in any big race. Let's look at the trainer. We know what he does. We know what he can do. He's romped. This horse has romped in both of the races. Just hasn't been in a stakes race. It's only one ran twice. Late bloomer. Didn't run as a 2-year-old. I like that horse a lot. I think that could be an upset. And my long shot is the 9, High Oak.
Okay, give us your thoughts on High Oak.
Well, it's won a grade 2 at Saratoga as a 2-year-old. Finished 4th in the Hopeful, which is the big race for 2-year-olds at Saratoga, and it's been off since. So don't really know what the story is there, unless this Bill Mott decided he needed to mature a little bit. Not Bill Mott, but the horse.
Right.
The horse needed to mature, and they held it out. More than likely, probably had some sort of an injury. I'm guessing you probably know. Those are the 3 I like, plus the one that got scratched.
I actually think with High Oak, they wanted to get him going a little bit quicker than this. He had a fever, but mostly what you said is accurate. I think they just said, let's kind of turn him out. Let's give him a little time. We'll stretch him out to 2 turns. So I think you hit the nail on the head with that one. Jared asked me, hey, Rattle and Roll, High Oak, those are kind of 2 long shots that make sense. Which one would you rather have? I chose Rattle and Roll, but it took a while because I do think High Oak is going to be interesting stretching out. He also has a lot of speed. I know on his past performances, it might say he wasn't on the lead in his last few, but those were sprint races. And now you go to a route and things are totally different. So I'm with you. I kind of think High Oak has a shot.
He's got a shot.
You mentioned the horse I really like, and that's Emmanuel. And I think you and I, our biggest maybe difference between how we handicap is you like that horse that's been in the stakes races and has that proven form, where I'm looking for that up and comer in these kind of spots. And so not to say either one is right or wrong. It's just a style difference. And, if you bet 10 races, your one theory will be right in some, and then the other theory will be right in some. But I really like Emmanuel. I remember sitting right here at my desk on December 11th and seeing Emmanuel break that maiden at Gulfstream and thinking, wow, that's a really nice horse. Magic and I the next day did a video on it. I said, Magic, we got to do a video on this one. He's really, really good. This Emmanuel, he went to Tampa Bay Downs last time after that allowance race, and I thought he was just fantastic. A horse named Glider, who we'll talk about in a minute, in the Gotham, came up next to him. He just dusted him, no problem. I'm worried, without any doubt, about jumping up. It's normal to worry about jumping up from an allowance to a stakes, right? And this isn't an easy spot. So I get the pause. Like Dennis said, hey, he likes Rattle and Roll a little bit. He thinks that's the best McPeak course on the dirt. Emmanuel, he doesn't trust. So, but I went Emmanuel on top. Did you go simplification on top?
No, I went Mo Donegal. But Emmanuel's my second pick, no doubt. So, yes. Now, definitely. Here's the thing. You're absolutely right. You know how I look at things. I do like that experience.
Mhm.
We're dealing with Pletcher. That's
Yeah.
a whole different story. I've seen him do this before. This is a great trainer. You got to trust what he's doing. And this horse may have come out of nowhere for him, may
Mhm.
just have developed. We're talking 2 and 3-year-old horses,
Yeah.
2-year-old now 3-year-olds. They're young. You can't really rate them. And I just feel like this horse, he's got this horse in there for a reason. I don't think this field is overwhelming. I don't see a lot in
It,
this.
it's
Okay.
it's a field filled with horses that might be good.
Yeah.
Not ones that we think like say Epicenter. Okay, if he was in this race, we know he's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Even like a Smile Happy who got second to Epicenter, we kind of know. Okay.
Right.
Simplification has been on and off.
Yep.
A horse like Rattle and Roll first start as a 3-year-old. We don't really know what he's about.
No.
High Oak is another one. We're not quite sure what he's about. In Due Time, another horse I kind of like. He's just an allowance winner. He's kind of like Emmanuel in that sense. So a lot of question marks.
There is, and there's no big race really that they've won. They're a little spotty. They really are. I don't see why he can't step up and win this race. I really and truly don't. He's going to be ready. He's going to have him ready.
Yeah. And even a horse like Rattle and Roll, who is a grade 1 winner, but it's a 2-year-old grade 1 win. And sometimes that doesn't translate to as a 3-year-old. Not saying it has no chance to, just saying sometimes that first out as a 3-year-old is when we really kind of learn what you're all about, as far as this year goes. So it's a field that at the end of the day, we could go, wow, really, really good. This is really, really good. Or we could say, you know what, that kind of disappointed. A lot of those horses didn't show up. That's kind of what we got in the Holy Bull. We thought Tiz the Bomb might run okay. I say we, some of us, I didn't. We thought Giant Game could come back and run okay. They didn't run very well. Will we see here? It's going to be interesting. The coach says, I think Emmanuel is below in Pletcher's barn. I don't know what that means.
He thinks it's down the list. Not his best.
If that's what you mean, I can confirm that is false according to Todd Pletcher. He thinks this is his best.
Really?
Yes, I have that on. That's 100% fact. He thinks this horse is his best. At least that's what he said. So we know a few sources within the Pletcher barn. They are sky high on Emmanuel. So
better go place some money, folks.
Take that for what. Now, listen, that doesn't mean the horse is a lock. That doesn't mean anything. But
it doesn't mean the horse is going to run.
No. And he would probably tell you, we have no idea.
Yeah.
When he is asked the question in a big time race, and maybe some things haven't gone his way, and he's had to, fight some adversity, and then we ask him to go win, he may not fire. It's not a lock, but they're very high on him in the barn. That I can promise you. So I'm with you. I think the race could be good. I think it could be kind of shaky too. We'll just kind of see how it plays out. All right. As I go back here and let's go to the next one. What do you want to do? Let's do Santa Anita. Let's do the Santa Anita one next.
All right.
It's the San Felipe at Santa Anita. It will be race 6 on the card. Another race going to mile 16th. Another race where 50 points could be had by the winner, unless that winner is trained by Bob Baffert, who has 2 in this race. If the Baffert horse wins, obviously no points will be awarded. Field of 7 here. We kind of set it off air. It's kind of a 2-horse race. You're leaning towards one, and I think I'm leaning towards the same horse. But go ahead. Who's your top pick in this one?
Well, I had no odds whenever I was looking at this, which sometimes is good. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes you look at the odds, you look at a horse because you see the odds. Like worst Red Sanchez there. I would have seen 20-1, not even looked at it. I didn't anyway. But anyhow, as soon as I saw the 6, as far as you're looking at class and all of that, that's the horse. I don't, nothing else has got the back class that he does. He's running some good races and run well. So I like him the best. I kind of like the 7 a little bit also. And of course the 5. So 6, 7, 5 for me. I would go as the 6 up on top. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think Forbidden Kingdom is going to be tough at this distance. I don't know how far he can take him past a mile and 16th. I think he's tough here. My main thing is I don't know about the doppelganger horse for about Bob Baffert, the 5 horse. I'm not sure. I'm skeptical. I don't hate him.
I don't like him at 9-5.
No, I don't either. And I think if those odds hold and you get anywhere close to 8-5 on Forbidden Kingdom, it's a pretty good bet, don't you?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
I kind of think that may be 4-5.
I kind of think so too.
Yeah. And I think Doppelganger may end up 3-1, maybe.
I don't know though. That Baffert money.
It's the Baffert name. Yeah.
Maybe 2-1. Dennis has an interesting point. He said, could this be a spot where you take the 6 and then put him on top and then everybody but Baffert underneath?
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting. You know, Doppelganger was 4th last time out in that race, the San Vicente. And it's like, okay, I get he didn't win. Not really good. 7 furlong setup, not real good for him. But he also didn't pass either one of his stablemates. And it's not like they're world beaters, right? I mean, I know Pinehurst came back and won last week, but I don't care about that race. I don't know. I'm so on the fence with Doppelganger. Dennis, I don't hate that. I really don't.
No, I think that's a good idea. Because the odds, what good's it going to do to play him? Really? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to create value some way, and that's kind of one of the ways. And if you're wrong, well, you're wrong. But you can't play 6/5. You know?
No.
I mean, you can, but
and if you're wrong, Dennis, it won't be the first time.
Well, there's that. Yeah, for any of us, for that matter. So
no, for any of us.
Yeah, gate to wire for the 6 for me. You're on the 6 as well.
Oh, I would single this.
Yeah,
I think I would.
I think I'm going to do the same. And like I said, and again, if we're wrong, it won't be the first or the last time.
No, but I think it's a safe single. If there is such a thing.
I mean, safe in terms of you do have to single against a Baffert, but you know, Dennis made a good point on Blinkers Off. This horse has beaten 8 different Baffert horses.
Yeah.
Already. I don't know if there are 8 different ones, but 8 Baffert horses in total. So he's beat them already. And the only one he's lost to is Messier. And Messier is a beast, I think. So yeah, I'm with you. All right, final one. Let's go to New York. The weather probably won't be as nice up in New York as it is in Gulfstream, or in Florida at Gulfstream Park and at Santa Anita in California. But they're still running a Derby prep. It's a field of 10 going a 1-turn, 1 mile up at Aqueduct. Again, 50 points to the winner, except if the 10 Rockefeller for Bob Baffert wins, and he will not get those 50 points. But field of 10, favorite goes to Asmussen, source number 9, Morello. I thought this was the more wide open of the 3 here, Papa Dude. Who do you like?
Well, I hate New York racing, except Saratoga. Hardly anything ever comes out of this, right?
Yeah. Right.
So I think it's a bunch of crap in this, really. And now I thought Baffert couldn't run in New York.
No, he can.
Oh, he can run.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought they banned him.
They did, and then he appealed. So
it's under appeal.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. All right. I kind of like the horse. I kind of like Rockefeller. You know, 1 first, 1 second, 1 fourth in stakes races. So I like that angle. He asked me, that horse is 2 for 2. Just won a rinky-dink stakes, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very impressive, though. He was impressive. He's my pick simply because I like him the best. I don't know if he can win. I think this is like you said. How are you going to pick one here? This is pretty wild. Pletcher's got one in there. I kind of looked at him. Same thing as Emmanuel a little bit. Hadn't won anything big, but 2 for 2. He wouldn't send him up here, would he? If he didn't think he had a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I look at him, and I kind of like the 8 a little bit too.
So who do you like on top out of those?
9.
Oh, geez, me too. All right, well, we're either going to be sad or happy because I here's how I saw it, and let's see if you agree. I like Pletcher's a lot, but the number 5 Dean's List, but I think the distance might be a little long. Yeah. And the biggest thing, I think there's a lot of pace. And so if he's going a little long and the pace is kind of hot, I don't know that he'll be able to hold on the whole race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like him though.
I do too. I think he's a nice horse.
What do you think about the 8?
Yeah, he's kind of like Bill Mott's horse in the Fountain of Youth, right? It's like, yeah, I could see it. I don't know. I'm just a little skeptical.
He could win though.
He could win.
He's in this field. Now, what do you think about the Baffert horse?
Don't like him very well. Never have. That could be part of the problem. I acknowledge that he's facing a weaker bunch than he did last time, but I don't like him.
Okay. One more question. I didn't look close enough. Where has Morello been running?
Oh, at Aqueduct. Both races have been at Aqueduct.
So he's up there. Okay.
Yeah, they built him up to this race, a maiden going 6 furlongs, and then that stakes last time out was 7 furlongs. Now we're to a mile.
Now,
so
another thing I just kind of noticed here, which tells me none of these horses are really well thought of. Let's look at the jockeys.
Yeah.
There are no big time jockeys. I mean, they're good jockeys, but there's none of the big boys here.
And a big reason why is the big days that are happening at the other tracks. And it also tells you, if there was a world beater, it's a Derby horse, right? So they would go. So there isn't a world beater in here for sure.
No. So I think it's a weak field. It's wide open, and these are the toughest ones.
Yeah, no doubt. And I do think the number 2 Glider, I want to talk about him for a second. If you like Emmanuel, Glider is somewhat interesting. Although he wasn't close to beating Emmanuel, he did kind of go up and challenge him. He did run decent in that allowance, same allowance as Emmanuel. 8-1.
Good odds.
Yeah, can sit off of it, make a move. I think Glider at 8-1 makes a little bit of sense.
Got to throw him in for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of my long shot. But that's you got anybody else you want to talk about out of this race?
No.
All right, let's get to the comments and then we'll go on to basketball.
I like number 1's name.
Yeah, Running Son of a Gun. Somebody asked us late in the Blinkers Off show about him, and we didn't get to it. They really like the pedigree on that horse. I don't see it.
I like Thor's name, From Another Mother.
Yeah, now that horse is interesting. I think he could run a decent race, maybe pull off an upset. I want a little more than 6-1.
Now, I'll tell you what, if this horse could get into the Triple Crown, would that not be cool?
It would be pretty cool.
From Another Mother. Now I'm telling you, that would appeal to the country. That's just what we're all about.
Exactly, and we would get a lot of stupid money on that horse. So
we would start adding the F word to the end.
That's right. All right, let's get a few comments here. And Dennis was talking about Emmanuel. He said he's seen the Pletcher horses that I thought was his best run awful, and then ran awful in their second starts. So this might actually be his best. According to the barn, it is. Like, again,
never know.
Get out there and run. His opinion might change, but as of now, they like him. Coach really doesn't like the 8 at all. He said if the 12 would have been in that race, he wouldn't even look at the 8. And so this is what I'll say. I wish the 12 was in the race, selfishly, because I think the 12 had no shot to win that race. And so I wished he was in and he would have taken money and made better prices for the other horses. I would not have used the 12 in that race. Let me be clear on Mo Donegal, because a lot of people have hated on us for this opinion, and you had him. You were going to pick him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate the horse. I hate the horse at Gulfstream, and I hate the horse going 1 mile and a 16th at Gulfstream with that short stretch. He's not a real agile horse. So the short stretch at Gulfstream at 1 mile and a 16th, if you're a closer, you got to be able to make your move on the turn. That's not him. He makes his move in the stretch. It's kind of, I think the same thing happened to Holy Bull would have happened in the Fountain of Youth. He's going to make a move. He's going to be charging late, but he got going too late.
Right.
Now, if the race is at 1 mile and an 1/8, maybe he's got a better shot. If he's at a different track running 1 mile and 16th, I think he has a better shot. But that configuration at Gulfstream for him, I just think it would have been brutal. So I hate that he's out, because I think he would have took money and lost. Dennis says you think he might send him to Oaklawn. That's possible. I could see
talking about Emmanuel.
Talking about Mo Donegal.
Oh, Mo Donegal. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's logical for sure.
Yeah. I don't know the severity of the fever. I don't know if it really is a fever. I don't know if it's just we don't like the 12 post. If it's we don't like the 12 post, I could see him going maybe to Tampa next. If not, then I could see him definitely waiting for the Arkansas Derby. He has points. He doesn't need to win next out. In the Arkansas Derby, we've seen these Arkansas horses, right? They're not very good. They make a ton of sense for him, Dennis. I think it's a good spot.
Yep.
And again, let me stress, a mile and an eighth, Oaklawn, normal stretch, longer distance. He might win there. That's a lot better setup for him. So, yeah. All right. Anything else? Yeah. Dennis talk about, we had that one. Yeah. Okay. We're good. All right. Let's move on to the basketball now. And we'll go over the top 25 happening on Saturday in college basketball like we do every week. All right. Let's kick it off. And we'll kick it off with the damn conference. It's tough, right? Villanova goes on the road to take on Butler. You might say, well, Butler's 13-17. They beat some people, especially at home. So what do you think to kick off the day in basketball with this one?
Well, I tell you, the Big East is just really fun to watch if you like basketball. I watched Creighton and UConn last night.
That was a great game.
That was a really good game. Providence and Villanova the other. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Providence, I don't understand the AP people and really the whole country, their lack of respect for Providence. They were 9.5-point underdogs to Villanova.
Mm-hmm.
I jumped all over that. There's just no way they're going to lose that game by that much. Tough team. And they got off to a bad start. And I thought, okay, I'm going to look like an idiot as usual. And then here they came with their run. Finally lost a close game. They won $1 million.
Yeah.
Villanova should handle Butler. Nova is really good. I don't think they're as good as they have been, but they're good. Butler can't score. And I think they'll end up beating them. That line is probably going to be outrageous because it's Villanova. It's probably going to be 11 or 12, I bet. You got to take Butler, I think, if that line's double digits. I really do.
Yeah. If it's double digits, I would take Butler for sure. But like I said, we'll see what it is. Villanova, I think, is going to win, but we will see. All right. How about this? The Hogs and Russ, big Hog fan. He said, how about my Hogs? Man, they're on a roll. They won a slugfest last night against LSU. Kind of fortunate, I would say, to win it, but still give them a ton of credit for getting the job done. Now they go to Tennessee, and Tennessee and Arkansas are real similar. Tennessee is almost impossible to beat in there at home. They are playing really well. What do you think about this one? It was a good game when they played before. How about this one?
Well, I think the crime is it's at 11 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
I think you could find a better time for a game like this because a lot of people are going to forget there's a basketball game on at 11 o'clock in the morning unless you're an Arkansas or Tennessee fan.
Yeah.
This toss-up. I thought Arkansas would struggle a little bit with LSU last night because it's just hard to keep winning. It is just so hard. You've got to play so well, and it's hard to keep winning. These two played 2-3 weeks ago, and it was 58-48, I think. Low scoring, I know that. I kind of think Tennessee's going to win because I just think Arkansas. This is stupid to say, and I don't mean any disrespect to Arkansas. I think it's their turn to lose. I think it's just their turn to lose. I mean, they've been in so many of these games and they've won. Maybe they got away with it last night, and that was the one, and they got it out of their system. But I just think Tennessee's going to get them. I think it'll be really close. I wouldn't bet. I would not bet the game, and it'll be interesting to see what the line is. Probably 1 or 2, maybe. Should be a great game.
Like Dennis said, Tennessee revenge spot and Arkansas is due to lose. They really are. And like I said, it's not a knock. It's just there's a lot of good teams in the SEC. They've beaten a lot of them. Kind of time for them to lose. And like I said,
it's kind of what happens sometimes. If they win this one, what a run they've been on. I think that would be, let me see, 15 out of 16 in the SEC. Listen, you better start, if they win this one, you better start kind of thinking they may have a chance to get to the Final Four.
I think they have a chance even if they lose this one. I mean, I don't think they lose much in a loss here, really.
No.
They're damn good, and like I said, we're close to it. We watch them all the time. We got my family obviously are huge fans. We're not huge fans of the Razorbacks, but we don't hate them or anything like that. But we have an interest in them because of family, and I watch every game they play. Man,
They're good.
They're very, very good.
Yep.
And like I said, Russ was at the last one, and the game was much closer than the final score. Like
and number 14 in the country, that is the biggest bunch of crap that there ever was. That is so stupid.
I don't get it. And
Not either.
All my Arkansas buddies, and one in particular that follows seeding really, really closely in bracketology, text me and said, I think they're
5.
A 5, yeah. And I said, how's that possible? He's like, I don't know, but he said everybody's got them as a 5.
They got to be a 3 at least, or a 2. But there's a lot of basketball to be played, Aaron. If they can win this one, and if then win the SEC, they're not going to be a 5. I'm going to tell you that right now.
To me, even if you lose this one and then you win a couple games in the SEC, you should be better than a 5.
No, I agree. But it may take, they could lose this, but then come back and win the SEC tournament. I think they would not be a 5. They can lose this game. They could lose this one.
Yeah, they could. We'll see what happens. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun game. No doubt about it. All right, Alabama, LSU. That's usually good for football, but what about basketball? Should be a good game. Both teams pretty similar here. Records almost identical. I think Alabama. I don't know. I think they're going to get beat here. I kind of think LSU beats them in this spot.
Alabama got beat last night.
Yeah,
by Texas A&M at Tuscaloosa. That's good enough for me. I'm taking LSU. I think now the only thing is, can LSU get back up after that heartbreaking loss last night? Because they expanded a lot of energy in Fayetteville last night.
I think the urgency will be there because they really need to win, right?
They do. I think they're safely in, but
I know, but
it's at home. I think they win.
Yeah.
Again, that line, I kind of think LSU will be favored. I kind of think they will.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. All right, let's move on. South Carolina, Auburn. I don't think that we see.
Oh, by the way, I don't know what you were watching last night. Probably not, but I was. Mississippi State and Auburn. Okay, on the road. Tie ball game. 25 seconds left. Dip Wad over there on the sidelines. Standing there doing nothing. Point guard dribbling around out there in circles. No plays run at all. Him just standing there. Throw it over to Jabari Smith. He's almost out of bounds right in front of the coach and shoots a 3. Almost banked it in, and they go into overtime.
Yeah.
Luckily, they won. I don't get it. I just don't understand it.
He's awful. There's nothing else to get. He's a terrible coach. I mean,
and then the media's they just love him. They think
Well, the media likes anybody that just acts like an idiot, right? That's kind of he has that down to a T. He can act like an idiot better than anybody.
And I guess it's pretty stupid to make these accusations when they're going to win the SEC. If they win Saturday, they win the regular season. But I'm not betting a nickel on them in the SEC tournament.
No, I'm not either. And we're in the big tournament either, for that matter. I think that goes without saying.
Maybe win a couple.
But. Yeah, maybe. I'm with you. I don't think they struggle with South Carolina, though.
No, it's at home.
Now, what about this? Kentucky goes to Florida.
Ooh, toughie. It's a toughie.
What do you think? Do they win?
Kentucky?
Yeah.
It's must win for Florida. Okay, now Florida beat Auburn.
Yep. At
the Swamp. This is not the Swamp. Whatever this is.
Yeah.
This is the Lagoon.
There you go.
The slough. Probably don't know what a slough is, but anyway, it's a small swamp.
I've never heard that.
Oh man, this is a tough one. You want to stay away from this one too.
Yeah.
Kentucky's not playing as good as they were. And if Florida wins, they're in. I don't think there's any doubt. That'll give them 20 wins, 10 wins in the SEC. They beat some good people. They would have beat Auburn, which is number 5, Kentucky, then number 7. You know, it's a good win for them if they get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to lean towards them, but it's awfully hard to bet against Kentucky. It really is.
I kind of think Kentucky's going to get this one.
They might.
I kind of think they're going to. I don't think Florida's quite as good as Arkansas. I think Kentucky goes and plays their best game. They can win in Florida. I really do. So I'll take the Wildcats.
Be a good one.
Yeah, be a very good one. Well, the schizophrenic Big Ten. I think Purdue will beat Indiana, but should we proceed with caution on this game?
Well, tonight, if you read my college basketball columns, there's 2 Big Ten games tonight involving top 25 teams. One's Iowa is at Michigan, and the other one is the 2 teams I hate the most, Michigan State and Ohio State, who have beat me, I bet, between them 7 times. So I just said, I'm not even looking at this game. I'll just tell you, I'll just make a pick, but I don't even care.
Yeah.
I don't even care. And every time I get on Purdue's bandwagon, they get beat.
Yeah.
Indiana has to win. They lost to Rutgers at home last night. That was a killer. Had they won that game, I think they were in. But
yeah,
I don't think they beat Purdue. But I don't know what the line will be. I can see that line being 8 or 9. I don't know where they cover that. But I think they beat Indiana. I don't think Indiana's very good.
It does seem like it's going to be pretty high, the line. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Purdue's lost 2 in a row, got beat by Indiana last time they played, and they should win by double digits.
Should.
Yeah, could be a rebound game. Also, Dennis asked, why does the media hate him? I didn't know that they did, Dennis. If you have a great story on that, I'd like to know.
I didn't know the media knew him.
No, I didn't even. I wasn't gonna say anything.
They don't like me, Dennis. They don't know me either.
Yeah, no, me neither. Is Indiana's gonna win? Isaac.
All right, that did it for me. I'll have to change my pick there.
No. Isaac's wrong. Purdue gonna win that one. All right, Texas Tech goes to Oklahoma State. What do you think? Do the Cowboys have a big win left in them, or does Tech get it done?
Did you see last night Oklahoma State beat Iowa State 53-36?
Yes.
When is the last time you saw a 20-win team who's going to be in the NCAA tournament? Probably. They may not now. Scored 36 points.
And don't take this the wrong way, any females listening, but their scores are usually lower. I thought it was a girl's score when I saw it.
I can see how. Yeah.
Because number one, I didn't think Iowa State would lose
to
Oklahoma State. And number two, it was a lower scoring game like they tend to be.
They scored 16 points in the second half.
Yeah. I did a double take. I was like, no, that's the men.
Yeah, I thought when I first saw it, I thought, well, it's in the second half and there's like 10 minutes left or something.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State is one of those teams that's awfully hard to beat. They have problems scoring, but they'll defend you and they will play hard. Again, I think Tech will eke this one out. But if that line is 8 or more, I would take Oklahoma State. I don't think they cover 8 or more. That's still.
I think it'll be a kind of a slugfest type of game.
I know Oklahoma State is banned from the big tournament. I think they're banned from the Big 12 tournament too. I don't think they can participate in
I think it's all postseason play. Yeah, which is just crazy.
So this would be their last game.
Right. Correct. All right, let's move on to where are we going now? Let's move on to Texas and Kansas. I lost track there. The Jayhawks at home here against the Longhorns. Both teams safely in the tournament, but for pride and definitely to try to finish out the season strong. This will be a big win for Texas. I don't think they get it though. I think Kansas wins this one, but I've had trouble with Kansas all year.
Yes, they're in a 2-game losing streak. They lost at TCU Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember, and they turn right around and play them again tonight because that was a COVID game that they made up. I think this is the makeup game tonight, and they need to win tonight. I think that line's 10.5, and I took TCU tonight, which is probably wrong, but Kansas is struggling. Texas is not going to go in there in Lawrence. Texas doesn't have the guts to do it. I'll just say that right now. I don't think they beat them. What do you think the line will be? 6, 7?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key. What's the line?
Yeah.
I think it'll be about that, and I think this kind of has the feeling of a game Kansas just kind of dominates. Honestly,
I kind of think they might. Yeah.
yeah, I think I'll take Kansas no matter what. Well, unless it's crazy number, I don't think it will be.
It won't be.
Arizona rounds out their season at home against California. That shouldn't be much of a game. Here we are back into this Big East. Connecticut hosts DePaul. We've seen DePaul pull off some upsets. Their record's not great, but any what do you think? Can they pull an upset here, or
you bet they can? They beat Marquette last night, but this is on the road. UConn is pretty good. They're not great. They're tough. They're really tough. They play so hard. I don't think they lose again. I don't know if that line is 10, let's say. It might be with them being at home.
Mm-hmm.
That line may be up there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they cover that, but anyway.
Our trusted people, I should say, in the chat, Dennis and Isaac says DePaul will win this game. So
stranger things have happened. Dennis made a comment here. I really like this. Dennis, I will say this. I trust your knowledge more than some of the others that are in the media picking races.
Dennis, if you're
talking about the racing dudes, I'm talking about the guys on TV.
If your goal is to be in the horse racing media, I would find a different goal. Knowing the horse racing media like I do. That's mean. There's some that are very, very nice, but most of them are not.
Well, don't you find that they miss just as many as everybody else usually?
Well,
have you seen one that's really good?
I think we all have our days.
I know. But these
people that are in certain spots shouldn't be in them. I definitely.
Yeah.
People don't work as hard
or
take that job as serious as they should.
Right. What do you think of Eddie Olczyk?
I think he's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I think he tries. I think he takes it more serious than full-time analyst. Honestly, I think he's a horse player through and through.
Oh, he's a horse player, no doubt. He loves it.
I like him. I like Eddie Olczyk a lot. It's hard not to like that guy.
Yeah, and I kind of like the way he picks. He'll do an exacta. He'll do some stuff, and he's creative. And I think he hit the nail on the head. I think he's serious about what he does.
The problem is, I think he takes it more serious, and this is a good thing for him and a problem for our industry. He takes it more serious than some people that have that job full time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem. I think if you're in that spot, you need to know more than the people watching. And I don't think that's the case a lot of the times. I just don't. There's good people. There's really good people. Yeah. I'm not shitting on the whole thing, but I think of a guy like Scott Shapiro, who works at Churchill Downs, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And I think he takes his job serious. I think he does a great job. Whether he misses or hits on a given day, that's any of us, right? But sure. I think he's the type that we need. We need more Scotts. And
I think a lot of these guys pick long shots and hoping they hit one, and then they can look really cool.
As Sylvian says, Matt Bernier, I like Matt. I think sometimes he just tries to pick somebody to like what you said. I think sometimes he'll just throw out one that I don't know that he fully believes that, but it's like, wow, if I'm on TV and this horse comes in, but that's a good guy. I think I do think he takes it serious. So I'll give him that for sure.
Do you think, while we're at this, I know it's right on basketball, but this is what this show's all about. We get off track.
Yeah.
Do you think, I've always heard this,
okay,
that people that are at the track, like Nancy Holtis, and I'm not saying she does this, no, pick silly things just to get you to take your money at the track. Have you ever heard this? Have you ever heard people say that? Don't go by what they say because they want you to put money on a horse that won't win.
always thought that. Now that I understand the industry, and no, I think that's 1,000% false. I don't think anybody
I've
does
never
that.
thought that either.
Yeah.
I think I really haven't, but I've heard people say that.
There's
Remember when the great Terry Wallace was at Oakland and he picked races, he did
Mhm.
what Nancy does. And I never thought that about Terry. I thought Terry wanted to get races right. And people would say, "Oh, you can't really trust him. He's trying to get you to bed."
I don't think that's accurate.
No,
I'm quickly scanning through every paddock person that I know. Couldn't see it. Just could not see that being the
I
case.
can't either
No.
because they don't want to come across as idiots.
No, and most of them don't. They're not betting all that much to where it would matter, and they're just trying to get you to bet. Period. It doesn't matter who you bet. They're just trying to get handle for the track. So,
I think most of them do a really good job. I think they're honest.
yeah. A few more. Your buddy Andy Serling. You don't like him either.
No.
He is what he is. Maggie Wolfendale up at
like
New
her.
York. She does a really good job.
I really like her.
It's a really good job. Have I seen Caitlin Free? Yeah, I've known about or met Caitlin a long time ago, known about her for years, and I know she's at Turfway Park now, right? Yes. She is atrocious, Dennis says. I don't know about that, Dennis. I don't follow Turfway religiously with the sound on, so I couldn't comment on her.
I'll make one more little deal here, and I know we got to get going, but I know you don't like Vic very well at Oakland. I like the way he does it when he's making a pick.
Mm-hmm.
When Nancy does most of the races, but Vic does a couple. And even if he hasn't selected the favorite, he will talk about the favorite a lot. Because Vic's picks are off the wall sometimes. Because I think he's picking trying to make money on his bets. I like how he does it. Like if he doesn't have the 3 and the 3's a solid favorite, he talks about the 3 and he talks good about him. He doesn't talk down about him. And I like that about some of those guys going, 3 sucks. He's not going to win. They don't say it like that, but I kind of like the way he does it.
I think Vic is really good at that. Yeah. I like him pre-race. I think Vic could be the best announcer in the country. No debate. But I don't think Vic puts a lot of time in memorizing who the horse is.
No, I don't either.
And
best voice.
100%. And I think his calls, when they're accurate, are fantastic. And I get it. There's going to be mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. That's not an easy job.
It's
but
hard.
You can't make it. You cannot make them every fucking race. You just can't.
You can't call the wrong horse.
Not every race. And you can't stop and pause for seconds every race. You just can't do it. Yeah. So that's my beef with him. Well, I don't have a beef with him. That's why I don't love him as far as a track announcer. I think he's a great handicapper. I think he does a good job, and Oakland loves him, and so good for him, right?
All that matters.
Yeah. All right, let's finish up. 3 games here. Iowa State, Baylor. You mentioned Iowa State scored 36 points. Now they have to go to Baylor. I think Baylor. I mean, how can you play Iowa State after that, right?
That line's going to be too high, probably. That'll be the only thing. But Baylor seems to be getting it going, and at the right time. They're dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, by the way, Dawn Lupel from Woodbine. Yeah, I never met her, but I think she does a good job, or did a good job, I should say. All right, North Carolina and Duke.
Look at the ticket price.
$3,000 to get in to see Coach K's last game at Duke. That's unbelievable.
That is crazy.
Yeah, North Carolina, Duke, Coach K, final home game, obviously. I think Duke wins this thing easy. What about you?
I think so. Yeah. Unless, sometimes the players get a little too hyped up in a situation like this. They know it's his last game, and sometimes they don't play real free. They could be a little bit too hyped up. I don't think North Carolina is real good. So I see a double-digit win in this one.
Yeah, I do too. I think it'll be pretty easy. And then finally, USC, UCLA. UCLA, they've had their ups and downs this year. I think this will be a really good game, though.
Well,
I lean the Bruins in this one. What about you?
I think
Yeah.
so. I think so. They played once and USC beat them, I think.
Yeah.
I think UCLA bounces back and gets them in this one. This is a toss up though. This is tough.
Should be a fun game. Should be
Yeah.
a fun game. It's
Yeah.
on at 9. I'll be
I
passed out
just
by then.
wonder, with the campuses being close and everything, do the other teams' fans come to these games? I mean, I just wonder.
I don't think USC fans go to any games.
Maybe.
They've shown pictures of their home game the other night, and there was like 200 people there when they're getting ready to tip off. So, yeah, I don't know the answer to that at all. Sylvian says Samich is the best.
There you go.
This is okay. When Samich contacted us, this has been years ago. He kind of had the feeling of a guy who just picked long shots for the hell of it, just from one email. He kind of had that feeling. When you get to talking to him, and why ultimately I was like, yeah, this guy's the real deal, is he'll tell you when he likes a favorite. He's not just trying to find long shot every race, long shot. This favorite sucks. And so that makes him very good. And the other thing, Sylvia and I talked about people, I should say, not really preparing for their job. That's not Samich. If he gets on the air, he's prepared, and he may miss races.
We all do.
He knows everything about the race,
Right.
and that's all of us. That's why we have who we have. We live it, right? Like if we get on the air Saturday, none of us are unprepared, and none of us are just showing up and just
you want to
out.
get them right. You don't.
Right.
The thing is, sometimes you have to bet the favorite, because if you don't bet the favorite and he doesn't win, you don't win.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you got to do, if it's an overwhelming, unfortunately, in horse racing, like when Zenyatta would run, you could make no money off of her.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing's going to be with Secret Oath down at Oaklawn. The next time she runs, she's going to be 1-9 probably if she runs with the girls.
Yeah.
You can't make any money off these great horses, so you got to be creative and try to figure out how you can build a ticket to where you can make a little bit of money, because you want to bet them. I remember at the Apple Blossom when Zenyatta ran the second time, she was 1-100.
Yeah.
And I just wanted the ticket.
Yeah.
I just wanted the ticket.
I would say there's a lot of uncashed tickets that came from that day and days like that, like American Pharaoh, Triple Crown, Justify, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But the other thing, and this was another reason I knew he was a real deal, he understands the definition of value, right?
Yeah.
Many people think value, and they think it's a long shot. It's 10-1, it's 12-1, and even 8-1. No, value is if you believe a horse should be 6-5 and it's 8-5, that's value.
Right.
That's John White taught me that the very first time I met him. He said, your best bets are going to be those horses that you think should be under even money that somehow are not. And like Happy Soul at Oaklawn, I think that was 2 weekends ago, should have been 1-9. She's even money. That's tremendous value.
Yeah. And it works the other way too. You and I have talked about this a lot. In a 10,000 maiden claimer, you don't bet a 7-5 horse, because there ain't no such thing as a 7-5 horse in a 10,000 maiden claimer. They all suck, every one of them. Yeah. One's just better than shit. That's what it amounts to.
Dennis is right. Value is a horse like life is good. If you and he said he thought he was 1-5 to win the race. He was 4-5. You bet the shit out of that horse,
and you can still make some money.
And don't let anybody, I don't care who it is, how much clout they have, don't let anybody ever tell you that's wrong.
Yeah.
Because they are so wrong. It's unbelievable.
They're going to lose. That's the bottom line. They're going to lose.
There are a lot of people out there that take 4-5 on what you said, a maiden claimer, and 4-5 on Life is Good, and think it's the exact same thing. And it's not. It's not even close.
No.
Biggest bets I've ever made in my life were on 2 horses that were 5-2, Justify and American Pharaoh, both in the Kentucky Derby. Yeah. And we looked at each other and said, these horses are even money to win this race. And we bet every dollar in our pockets to win on those horses, because the odds were too good. 5-2 is a gift when you think a horse needs to be even money. So that's the biggest takeaway. Any advice anybody can give you, what I just said is the best advice. Trust me.
Mhm.
And I didn't invent that. Okay. I've been told by people a lot smarter than me about this. So
And I'll give it well. Another good thing too. If the horse is 5-2, you bet every dollar you got in your pocket. If you only got $10, that's good. That's a good bet.
exactly. I'm telling you, the best bets you can make in racing are those.
Yeah.
Right there. That's how you make it. That's
The bottom
how
line is you got to pick the winner, right?
that's how you turn
Stay
a
in there.
profit.
You can't
You're-
build a ticket and leave out a horse that's going to win
Yeah.
just because you don't think you can make any money. You're not going to make any money if you don't put him in there. You have to do it.
Another great example, the Breeders' Cup when Monomoy Girl won the second time. Dennis, we did the exact same thing. We put $500 to win on Monomoy Girl. And people out there that don't know what they're doing, their head would explode because I think 6-5 or 7, something like that. But she was 1-9 to win the race. She was way better than the rest of the horses. She wins easy, and you have a stack of money. And you know what you can do with the $500 you made on that race, or the $200, or the 100, or the 50, whatever you put on it? You can take 20% of it, 50% of it, and go for more exotic bets.
Yeah, you can.
And play ahead instead of eating your bankroll. That's how you do it, folks.
Yep.
There really isn't a huge secret to racing once you figure that out.
Nope.
You cash in on the ones you're really confident about. You make them pay you for those, and then you use that money to try to, in lack of a better term, get lucky on some of your more exotic bets and your risky bets. It's a simple formula. Anyway. I didn't know I was going to get into this rant today, but
that's okay. That's what this show's about. I got another rant here in a minute.
That's my most passionate take there is. And I remember I met John White in 2013, and he spent a ton of time with me going over stuff. And he just kept driving it home. American Pharoah was going to run in the Breeders' Cup in 2014. And I was with dinner with him. This was the next year after I'd met him. And the next year we had dinner with him again. This was before American Pharoah scratched. He scratched out of the race. And I said, what do you think? What do you think about this Breeders' Cup? He goes, 1 horse to bet. It's American Pharoah. Forget all those other races. Play him if you want. Put 90% of your bankroll on American Pharoah. He wins. And then the other races, you play him how you want, but put that in your pocket. He's a lock.
Yeah.
Of course, American Pharoah goes on to win the Triple Crown. He scratches out of the Breeders' Cup, unfortunately. But that's John White, folks. Like, that's a professional gambler. That's a guy that's been in the game for 50 years.
There's so many horse bettors that will not bet a 4-5 or a 6-5. They simply will not do it. They think that's stupid, and it's not.
No.
So anyway,
and like you said, that maiden claimer for 10, going 6 furlongs, a field of 12. Yeah, let's try to beat that 8-5.
Or if you really are smart, you don't bet that race.
Exactly.
You just don't. I mean, 12 of them? Are you kidding?
Well, you can bet it, but you play low amounts.
You just bet a little bit, just has some action.
Exactly. And then, that stakes race that's coming up. Anyway, Ricky chimes in. He says,
Rick, good to see you, buddy.
The better the horses, the more reliable they are. That's the best advice ever given. And that's definitely true.
No doubt about it.
Dennis is happy that Ricky is here. All in line with champion horses that are being discussed. Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Yeah. And a lot of the time they are going to be the higher level horses that you make those big bets on. But there are times you might see a maiden at Saratoga and you think, wow, I've been following this horse, and stuff like that. So anyway, all right, let's move on. Final thing we're going to talk about, future wagers. We'll do it fairly quickly. We've got a bunch of them up here. I wanted to throw this one up. Future wager to win the national title right now. Gonzaga, the favorite at about 3.5 to 1 there. Kentucky next, and Arizona at plus 750. As you look at this, where is your money lying right now? I only bring this up because we did very well when we talked about NFL future wagers. So let's do this.
It's not with Gonzaga.
No, me neither.
I just can't.
No.
I love Arizona's at that. That's pretty good.
Arizona plus 750 would be one of mine.
Yep. I like Baylor at plus 1,300 too. And I can't believe Duke's 1,200.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Arizona far and away out of the ones you showed me so far.
Yeah. I like Arizona at plus 750. I'll put a little bit of money on Villanova plus 2,300. That's 23-1 for people who don't bet sports. Maybe you're watching just for the racing. 23-1.
I would throw some on Baylor at 13-1. I really would. Not a lot, but I would.
Yeah. Dennis says he's got a buddy that's got Kentucky at plus 18,000 or plus 1,800. Geez, if I could talk. That's great because right here currently plus 750. Yeah. So
if Kentucky was 1,800 or 18-1, definitely.
Oh, if this, oh yeah, let's see what's Arkansas here. Let's see. But yeah, if Kentucky is 18-1, we'd both be picking. Arkansas is 50-1.
You got to put some money on that.
You think?
50-1, $5? What the heck?
Use your wild pick. There it is. The Wild Hogs of Arkansas, right? 50-1.
Yeah, I think these others are out of, I mean, Providence 80-1 now. I don't think they can win it all.
Yeah, then you're getting out.
Oklahoma State, what are they on? They're not.
I have no idea. It's got to be a misprint. They can't even get in.
The other one I like is Wisconsin.
Where were they? Let's see.
They're Wisconsin, right below Arkansas at 50-1, I think.
Okay, so there's your two
wild
solid. Picks.
They're pretty solid.
Yeah, 250-1 shots. Papa Dude gives out there Arkansas and Wisconsin. Your top pick would be Arizona, and you also like Baylor.
I like Arizona a lot better than I do Baylor.
Give me Arizona, Villanova. Let me give you a roulette chip here. Gosh, I hate these teams.
Yeah, there ain't much in that. Now you're getting down to the Tritons. Who's the Tritons?
I don't know. I think we're on some kind of bizarre website here. You know, shit. How about why not Providence at 80-1?
Yeah,
it's 80-1.
At 80-1, definitely. Yeah. There was another one I like too. I don't think this would be one that's gonna go farther than you think, and that's not what this is about. But,
right, but that's okay.
Houston.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't bet them to win it at 33-1, but I do kind of agree they'll
beat somebody they're not supposed to, probably.
Right. All right. Now let's do the same thing.
Okay.
With the NBA.
All right.
Because we're getting kind of late into the season. I have been on record on the show. I think the Suns are going to win it, but 4-1 is a pretty tough bet, I think. You've been following the NBA very closely. What do you think of some of these?
I would go the Heat.
You love the Heat. Heat are 10-1.
I get them right all the time. Mm-hmm. Last night, I didn't bet them, and they lost. I was proud of myself. I stayed away from that last night.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I like the Grizzlies, and you don't, but I do.
You've loved the Grizzlies all year.
25-1. 25-1. I just the Warriors are playing terrible. Isaac, I'm sorry, but they're playing terrible right now.
They're awful right now. Yeah,
they got injuries. That's part of it. Philly's playing pretty good. At 7-1, they're playing pretty well. I don't think the Jazz can go all the way. Celtics don't play any defense. Bulls are awful low there. I mean, 27-1.
Yeah,
they're not bad. I would throw mine on the Grizzlies at 25-1 and the Heat at 10-1. With you, I think the Suns are going to win it.
It sucks because I like the Suns, but 4-1 sucks. Let's see.
Is Russ about to run 40s at the combine here?
I totally read that as Russ was about to run 40s at the combine. I'm sure that's
you get somebody to video that, Russ, and we'll give you a phone number and we'll put it on the website.
Oh, by the way, Russ, you and I have a mutual friend that I found out about. So I'll let you guess who it is. Let's see. I meant to tell him that like 2 weeks ago. I keep forgetting. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like these prices. Utah 18-1. I don't know.
Well, that's not bad, but they don't play well in the playoffs. That's the thing.
Yeah, I can't do it. Can't do it.
Durant comes back tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Nets.
Russ says they don't make videos that long, Papa Dude. Who? His initials are JB. Russ, JB.
Where's he from, Aaron?
He's from the same town as Russ. Russ So that's been about a month. He said something about his hometown. I said, oh, that's where JB's from. So I text JB. I said, hey, do you know somebody named Russ W? He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know exactly who that is. Good guy. So you can vouch for him.
I do want to
JB.
cover. I want to cover two things, Aaron.
Now, hold on.
Okay.
Classmate of yours, Russ. And Russ, he said, you're a good guy. I don't think JB's a good guy, though. So kidding, obviously, but not really. Russ knows. Two more things, and then I'm gonna let you go. Coach said, where is that? Who will be the four highest seeds in the or what will be the highest seeds in the Final Four?
I guess that means the number one seeds. Maybe?
Yeah, it's like will we have?
I see.
The four favorites to be number one seeds is what I was getting at. Are Gonzaga, Arizona, Baylor, and Kentucky. That's who the betting odds have projected as the four number one seeds.
Yeah.
So
He might mean, and we have no idea how to do this now because we don't know what the seeds are. Which will there be a real high seed in the Final Four, like a number 6 make it or a number 8 or something like that? That usually happens,
right? Yes,
and we'll have all of that out when the bracket is out on not this Sunday, but the Sunday after. We'll start getting into that. I'm trying to figure out how I can do all this, but we're going to have it covered.
So Russ says JB is hilarious. If you've ever been around him, Russ, I've never laughed so hard in my life when I'm around JB. I'm sure you do too. We could share some stories on that guy. He's a unique.
Or Sylvia in there, or so. Sorry, I don't. If I pronounce your name wrong, put the NHL. There we go.
There it is. That's my last thing. We're going to talk about the NHL, and then you can have the floor for the final say.
It won't take
NHL future wagers. Okay, Sylvian, here we go. Pop
you throw yours out there too, Sylvian. I want to hear it.
Yep.
Lightning, I'm all over it at 8 to 1.
Okay.
Although we discussed this once before, it's hard to win 3 years in a row. Almost impossible. If anybody can do it, they can. I really like Colorado, but we're not going to do the favorite. Yeah, I think the Golden Knights are way too high.
Way too high.
Way too high.
I'm not sure they make it.
Yeah, they're playing awful.
Yep.
I think the Maple Leafs are really struggling right now. That's too high.
Don't love that.
Love Carolina. I think where's Florida?
Exactly.
Oh, there we go. Okay. That's no brainer. That would have to be one of the top ones. Got to be.
I don't know. This doesn't see. I'm gonna have to look up a different site because they should not be 25 to 1.
Oh God, no.
And they've got the Calgary Flames here at 250 to 1. All right. I don't think their hockey is right. So.
All right. For Monday, we'll get a better one. Okay.
Hold on.
We'll do this again Monday.
That
can't be right. The Flames
there's no way. No.
I mean, they're great.
There we go. Vegas Insider.
Playing really, really well.
The Calgary Flames. Okay, this is
there we go.
Like
that's better.
The Avalanche are 4 to 1. Florida is about 8 to 1. So that makes more sense. Yeah.
Calgary there is. Boy, look at that. That's pretty good. You can get 16 to 1 there. That one book.
Yes, at BetMGM, home of Ricky Pasternak, by the way. Calgary Flames 16 to 1. Ricky, book it. 16 to 1. I'll take the Calgary Flames.
I really like Florida, Carolina, and Calgary would be my top 3. I tell you what, the Rangers looked awfully good last night against the Blues.
Yeah, but the Blues didn't play their starting goalie, so.
Oh, baloney. The Blues didn't skate in the third period. That was the problem.
They were bad, yeah.
They were really bad.
Flames and Rangers, coach says. Bruins and the Oilers. I don't like those.
I don't think Dennis watches a lot of hockey.
I don't like the Oilers at all.
We'll
see, maybe.
Bruins. Oh, well, that's why we do this. Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah, the Carolina is 11.5 to 1, and also the Flames, like I said, 15 or 16 to 1. Florida is not good. They're playing good early, but they slump. Yeah, they are really slumping right now. That's true. It's true. Wait till the trade deadline. Yeah, that's coming up quick. Won't be long. So,
yep,
that's clarity there. Okay, Papa Dude, take us home here. Well, I've got one thing too, but you go ahead.
Okay, first thing, D. Wayne Lucas made a great suggestion. at a speech he gave in Hot Springs. What was that? That was some sort of big horse racing thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly where he was, but yeah, it was a banquet of some sort.
It was in Hot Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, over this big controversy we've got, why don't we start finding the owners of horses that are juiced? And then maybe they will quit selecting the trainers and go to somebody that's not cheating. Common sense, that's kind of a pretty good idea, or take the purse away from them. Something they don't get the money, whatever it is.
I've thought this for a long time, and I get why the trainer should be punished. He's responsible.
Yeah, they should be punished too.
But the owner gave the horse to the trainer, and maybe it's a situation where if it's the first offense for the duo, the owner gets a warning.
But if it keeps happening.
If it happens 2 or 3 times, they're just as dirty as a trainer in my mind.
They are. And it's just like Russ says here.
I agree, Russ.
Yeah. If they keep giving Baffert horses, then they should be punished if they're not clean. They should, because, well, I can go on and on about it, and I'm not going to, because I just don't. I tweeted the other night, and I really mean this. I don't know what kind of world Bob Baffert lives in. I just don't know how he can live with himself. I don't. I just don't know. It just baffles me.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of the ego he has and the arrogance he has is really showing. I mean,
it's arrogance and ego. You've hit it. It's just, there's no other way around it. And yeah, it's crazy what's happening.
Yeah. It is.
This point from Dennis. Yeah, because let's be honest, Navarro, Service, Theodoros, etc., they know. A lot of times in the horse racing media will kind of go with this, which is crazy. They'll say, well, it's the owner. They're hands off. They don't really know what's going on. Bullshit. Yes, they do. Yes,
if you're
they
owner
do.
Of a horse, you better know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like an owner of a pro franchise, and they go, well, they don't know what's going on. Well, you're a pretty poor owner if you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not an excuse. That's a horrible excuse.
It is a bad excuse. And I agree with D-Wayne. And Sylvian, your favorite, Mike Somich, has said that for a long time. He thinks the jockeys should be fined as well. And I said, well, I think you do the jockeys. He goes, you're telling me the jockeys don't know what's going on? It's like, I can't say that they don't.
No, but then you're going to start finding everybody, and you got to draw the line somewhere.
But you know what? I don't necessarily agree about the jockey thing, but the one thing we did kind of agree on: if a jockey loses money riding for a guy, do you think he's going to keep riding for him?
That's true. That's a great point.
So he's not. It's not fair, but he's not completely wrong about the end result. Might get where we need to be. So.
And the crime of all of this is the face of horse racing that's got in trouble. It's not some flunky dunky. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
And for him to be so arrogant, his ego so big, his legacy is ruined. I don't care what happens. I just don't care.
Yeah.
How can you walk into a racetrack and everybody's looking at you?
Yeah.
And thinking there's the villain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not everybody, I guess. He's still got his fans, but I don't know how you can do that. But anyway, that's enough of that.
What else you got?
That I really feel sorry for some of these mid-majors teams like Vermont and specifically South Dakota State, because it appears that they're going to have to win the conference tournament to get into the big dance.
Mm-hmm.
They went 18-0 in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
In a double round robin, which means they played every team in their conference twice, and they beat every team twice. They've won 27 or 28 games. It's not fair for them to go into the conference tournament and have to beat every damn one of those teams for a third time to get into the conference or into the big dance. They should be in. What else do they have to do? This league isn't bad that they're in. They beat
always
Oral Roberts, and Oral
Yeah.
Roberts went to what? The Final 8 last year?
yeah.
It's a good league. They should be in.
I've always thought it was unfair that a 2 or 3 game tournament decides who gets in, but the whole season and they win and they go 18-0 and they lose when they're out. I've always thought it's unfair. I get what it's all about, though. I mean,
I
it
do too.
creates
Interest.
Yeah, for sure. But I hear you. And these tournaments you experienced today, like Missouri Southern women kicked off their tournament. A lot of time it's at a gym with like 200 people, and it's at noon on a Thursday. And it's just like, ugh.
Well,
Nobody wants to be there, you know?
You ask any coach that's ever coached basketball for sure. The season is so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's a marathon. And winning the regular season is a hell of a lot better accomplishment than going and winning 3 games in 3 days or 4 or whatever. Yeah. And you take a team like Vermont, they're 25-5. Now, they don't play in as good a league as South Dakota State. They don't have quite the argument.
Mm-hmm.
They're 25-5. They went 17-1 in their conference. The next team to them is like 6 games behind them. You get in these tournaments and it's one and done, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a crime if they get beat and they don't get in the tournament. It's a crime. It's just not right. And I hate it. I do. And now they don't have as much argument as South Dakota State, because South Dakota State has beat North Dakota State, which is a hell of a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Oral Roberts, South Dakota's good. That league is tough. The point is they beat every damn one of them twice, and they played a good non-conference schedule. They didn't play flunkies. And the reason why they've lost 4 games, they played good teams in the non-conference schedule. They should be in. No doubt.
I agree. I definitely agree. And Dennis agrees as well. And I think he's probably right. The big reason why that money with the bigger schools, it's there. So,
okay, you love the big dance just like I do. Wouldn't you rather watch South Dakota State than a 17-13 Michigan?
Yes.
100%. So would I.
Yeah. But I don't know if everybody's that way. But yes, I would totally. To me, that's what the big dance is about. Those teams. Yeah.
They would be like a number 12.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd have to look at them against the number 5, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm on your side on that for sure. I've always thought that. And same way with college football, why they need to expand it. Maybe those little smaller teams could beat them. Maybe they couldn't, but wouldn't it be fun?
Nice to see.
Yeah, I know. So
and listen, it is so hard to. It's like the Missouri Southern girls, which is a much. Well, let's just use South Dakota State.
Yeah,
because it makes more sense. It is so hard to go through this long, tedious season and win 18 games and lose 0 when everybody in your conference is gunning for you and they know exactly what you do. There's no secrets. It is so hard to do that. And then in a 3-game tournament, anything can happen. And this is played at a neutral site. Now, some of these tournaments, like the America East, where Vermont's in, that's played at the higher seeds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're going to have all their games at home.
Yeah.
So, and they should. So that'll be a little bit easier. South Dakota State's got to go to a neutral site. Now, it is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So they're going to have home advantage, but they still got to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Missouri Southern. They beat all these teams in the regular season, and for the first time in their history, they won the regular season MIAA Conference Championship, and now they got to turn right around 4 days later and beat these same teams again. And it's not easy. It's hard.
It's not easy to do. Yeah, but it's that's where we're at. I mean, that's how it's always done, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. But it is unfortunate. And like I said, it's one and done. You can slip up real easy. Especially in basketball. Basketball, if you don't shoot the ball very well one night, you can get beat. Yeah.
You get in foul trouble.
Yes, another big one.
Other than one today, they beat a team they beat twice. Is one of the best teams in the MIAA year in and year out. They're not as good this year. They're hard to beat. And their best player, their superstar, got in foul trouble.
Yeah, and they almost lost.
And they almost lost. They gutted it out. She got back in and was able to stay in the game, and they pulled it out. But they may not get so lucky on Saturday.
What are they ranked in the regional?
This is another crime, and that's another story. They're 5th.
Oh,
and the team that's number 1, they beat them on their home court and held them to 41 points, beat them 59-41. They're 1 and Southern's 5.
Who's number 1?
Fort Hays State.
Well, they're in the same conference, and Missouri Southern won the conference. How could that be?
Well, they tied. But Southern won it because they beat them in the race.
But how could one be 1 and one be 5?
That's a very nice question.
Good God. Okay, well,
it makes no sense.
Maybe
you
if
have
Southern
a bunch of fools that don't know what they're doing that rank these teams. There is no way Missouri Southern, which plays in one of the toughest Division II conferences in the country, should be 5 in a regional when they won the conference regular season.
That's crazy, especially when it's a team from your own conference that's number 1. That's insanity.
Southern is 23-5, and this team's like 25-3. It's just kind of the reverse, but it doesn't make any difference.
If Southern was to win the conference, that would mean another win over them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they would move up to number 1?
No, there's no chance.
Why?
The only okay.
I'm sure nobody cares about this, but I'm really pissed off at the moment.
It could happen to anybody. These people that vote for this stuff, they don't know what they're doing.
Right. This ties back into the horse racing conversation. But anyway, go ahead.
Right. Or these people that vote in the AP, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's no way Arkansas is number 14. There's just no chance. Anyway. All right. Now, Fort Hays is 1.
Okay.
There's a team down in Oklahoma. I guarantee you Fort Hays and Missouri Southern would kick the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Now, they may get beat. They're still playing in their tournament. They're 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's 2 Minnesota teams that were 3 and 4. And they've already played their conference tournament, and one of them won and one of them lost, but they didn't drop. The team that lost stayed there. Southern goes and wins their conference championship Saturday and stayed at 5. Wouldn't you think they would have jumped one of those 4, or one of the 3 or 4, whichever the 4th seed lost? Wouldn't you think they would have jumped and moved up 4?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they moved Southwest Oklahoma from 4 to 2 because the 2 previously lost to the 3. And this will get too complicated, but anyway, it's not right. There's almost 0 chance that Southern can host the regional next week.
Well, okay, that's depressing. I don't follow the women's side of it, so that's interesting.
I don't usually, but I've kind of gotten into it. I thought they would be ranked at least 4th, but the rankings came out yesterday, and they were still 5.
I expected you to say they're in the top 3 and they can host if they win.
They actually thought today, had they lost, they might be out. No, they really did.
Okay, we'll talk about this off air because that's crazy.
One more thing. This is how tough that conference is. The top 9 teams in the region, 4 of them are from that conference, and Southern beat every one of them.
Yeah, and they're 5.
So anyway.
Okay, all right. Well, we got to get off the air because Magic Mike is coming up in 35 minutes. They will be on the air. Be the 3rd show of the day. So we had shows at noon, 2, and 4 Central Time. So a lot of fun. Magic Mike covering the All Stakes Dirt Pick 5 Saturday, maybe something like that. So they got a lot going on there. That will be a very, very lively and entertaining show for everybody. Final thought from me, AEW Revolution, going to be Sunday at 7 o'clock Central Time. If you're bored by this pay-per-view, it's going to be fantastic. 11 matches, and I don't think there's one bad match on this card. It's going to be awesome. So, best pay-per-view they've ever done. They're on fire right now. Give it a shot.
That's Sunday
night, 7 o'clock. If you used to like wrestling and now you haven't watched it in a while, give this show a shot. You might be back. It's going to be great. Yes, MJF and Punk is going to be fantastic. One of the best wrestling feuds ever, in my opinion, how they've done it. So check that out. Have fun this weekend. Stay tuned. Magic Mike next. We'll be live this weekend as well. So big weekend. Everybody have a good time. Like I said, Jared asked, what can people look for this weekend? What should they be doing? I said, people listen to the show. What they should do this weekend is have a great time. Let us work. You guys go to the track, go to your OTB, go to a game, have a great time. Have a great weekend. There's not many that we get like this that is this good. It's going to be good this weekend. So everybody have fun, and we'll see you right back here on Monday for the Dudes Who Bet Sports show.
This has been a presentation of RacingDudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels. Never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,